Hey guys, Kyle with Dirt Bike Channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to take a 300XC up the RazorBack trail. Stick around. I filmed this a couple weeks after I did the RazorBack run when I had the XCW and the 350XCF. And this is about the second or third ride that I did on this 300XC. And I'm going to take it up this trail. Now the only modifications done to this bike are a 52 tooth sprocket. And so I realize you guys are going to say, well, you're timing, you're timing this thing with just an iPhone and you're just hitting start and then putting it in your bag, and then you go up to the top and you have to stop the bike and take it out of the bag and everything. So I get that it's not like super exact. The point is, though, I did this exact same timing method on all three different bikes, and so it's essentially, apples for apples. I'm climbing up this hill faster than the time shows, but the whole point is to compare the three different bikes. Now, one of the things that became very obvious to me is that this 300XC, I wasn't even comfortable, so to speak, on this bike so much because I'd only ridden it like 2 or 3 times. I have probably 2.5 hours on the bike when I did this trail. So it's not like I was super used to the the characteristics of this bike, although it is very close to the 300XCW, which I'd been riding for quite a while before this. And as I'm coming up this trail, I'm wondering, like right here, I get kind of a little bit out of shape and I'm not doing that great. And the whole time I'm wondering if I'm going to be faster or slower on the bike, and I didn't really know. In fact, for a lot of it, I was thinking, well, I got out of shape a couple of times and I slowed down in areas I didn't want to slow down, and I thought, you know what, I'm probably slower on this bike than on my XCW. And a lot of guys ripped me a new one for speeding up the footage so much the last time on the last RazorBack video. So this time I'm playing the whole video in real time, and you get to see the riding as it happens. So some of you dudes are going to be super bored by that, and other of you guys are going to be like, hey, awesome, I'm not going to vomit by watching a sped up video on this trail. So if you're annoyed by watching all this riding, in real time, then you can thank the guys that said they were going to vomit. The other thing that was funny is I had a dude saying that, oh, look, it took you 6.5 minutes or whatever it was, over 6 minutes to go just a mile, up this trail. I could run that. And I'm sitting there going, and I don't know. I don't think I said this. I might have actually said it to him in the comments, but I'm like, you know what? Let's come together, and you can come down here and we'll start. I'll start on my bike and you start running up this hill. And if you can beat me up the hill, I'll give you $10,000 on the spot. Because there's no possible way anyone could run up this hill faster than you can ride a dirt bike up it. It doesn't look that steep when you're watching it here, but it is dang steep in so many places, and you probably gain almost 1,000 feet. I don't know, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 feet of elevation. It's probably like 800 feet, but could be even 1,000 feet. I should check it on my GPS and see how much elevation you actually do gain. So, there's certain sections of the trail like this one where you can go a little bit faster. And we're coming up here to a rocky section. Now this section right up here doesn't look like it's that bad, but it's pretty gnarly. Right here, boom, you have to climb up over some rocks. And about that time, I'm shifting down into first gear. And this is where the most tricky section of the thing comes, and you're gassed. So you come up on this and it's very steep, and you don't really have any room for error. You come around these corners, and I've ended up upside down right back there. I've also ended up stalling, the 350 right here. And these rocks look like they're nothing in the footage because the GoPro footage just flattens everything out. But this is a pretty technical section right through here, and you have to be really on your toes. And the two-stroke power, the two-stroke grunt just really helps me get through this section. Now, I did it a number of times on the 350 XCF afterwards, where I had no problems because I took more clutch into those places and just stayed more on the gas. And you can definitely do it. It's not like the 350 XCF isn't a capable bike, and especially if you do a few different modifications to it. But see that section right through there, that is a very, very tricky section. The only way you can really appreciate how tricky that is to actually go ride the trail. Because here it just kind of looks like the bike is eating it up, and it is. It's totally eating it up. But at this point, your heart rate is kind of going through the roof because you've just been busting it and hanging on the bike, and then you get a little downhill section here. This is like the only downhill section, so you can take a little bit of a breather, and you come down to the bottom of this thing, and then make kind of one more run towards the top here, pounding over some of these rocks and roots, which look like they're not a problem at all. And little teeny downhill here, and then you'll make the final hill going up. So let's just listen to the bike.
And we're up. If I can get the pack off. Get my hands to work. Where are you? Stop. 5 minutes, 48 seconds. That's about 30 seconds faster than I did it on the XCW. Now, you could say, well, that's because you're getting better and you pushed it hard. And I did push it hard. There was a couple spots back there, especially on that last tricky rock section down there. I went so hard that I almost dumped it. But anyway, that's pretty awesome. So we were faster on the XC than we were on the XCW, probably due to the higher second gear. Just makes you go faster. Pretty cool.
So by the numbers, that the 300 XC was 30 seconds faster than my 300 XCW, which is pretty phenomenal when you realize that it was my second or third time riding that bike. My conclusion is that I just rode it faster because I rode basically the entire time in second gear, almost, except for some of those, a few of those really technical sections where I got down in first gear. But the taller second gear on that 300 XC just makes you charge a little bit harder, which is exactly what I have wanted to do. It's kind of where my riding style has been going. I've been riding more in second gear in the last year than ever before. And on the 300 XCW, the first gear was just a little bit too low for me, if I'm completely honest. And a lot of times I couldn't use it because in order to be in first gear, your RPMs end up becoming so high that I would spin out and lose traction. Kind of light up that rear wheel. So second gear is the new first gear, and those 300 two strokes will just pull like a tractor and help you get up stuff, and hardly even need first gear in a lot of situations. Anyway, that is the 300 XC going up the Razorback Trail. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.